good day. So our topic today is TCP, the second most important transport protocol. It's very widely used by many applications. So we will and this is we have already discussed UDP. Actually this is a little more complex than UDP, but it also has some advantages. So we will see what they are. So the transport layer responsibilities, if you remember, they create packets from byte stream received from the application layer, and they, in order to multiplex and demultiplex amongst various applications, it uses port numbers to create process to process communication. It uses a sliding window protocol to achieve flow control, and uses acknowledgement packet, timeout and retransmission to achieve error control. So you see, unlike UDP, which is unreliable, this seeks to provide a reliable communication. That means so that it is error free. It's a connection oriented protocol, as we will see, and it also has some kind of congestion control mechanism. We will discuss the details of that later. And of course it does the basic thing of making connections between processes amongst two distant nodes possible. So TCP is called a connection oriented reliable transport protocol. It adds connection oriented and reliability features to the services of IP. So the IP as such, you know, is a best effort kind of service, so it does not give you any reliability, and secondly IP is connectionless, whereas this is riding on IP, but this attempts to give some kind of connection oriented flavor to the connection. We will see how. And a proposal is implemented entirely at the ends, two end nodes. That means the internal, the intermediate routers, etc., they do not have any role to play. So the communication abstraction is that it is reliable, ordered. Ordered means that the packets are received in order. That means you remember that in IP it is not guaranteed that the packets will arrive in order, because what might happen is that one packet might be routed in one direction, the other packet might be routed in the other direction. So the packet which was sent earlier may land up at the destination earlier and vice versa. Okay. But TCP makes them ordered. TCP brings an order amongst them. So this is ordered, and this is of course point to point and unicast. And these 2 points, that it is a point to point unicast and it is ordered and it is reliable, this is what gives the connection oriented flavor to TCP. And it takes a byte stream as an output and as an input and gives that as the output. Is a full duplex connection. That means both the nodes, suppose A and B are connected by TCP, so A can communicate to B and B can communicate to A, and it has flow and congestion control. So TCP, also known as transmission control protocol, it's a connection oriented protocol, and it's reliable unicast end to end byte stream over an unreliable network. So before any data transfer, TCP establishes a connection. So just like you remember that, say, in a classical connection oriented network, like say classical telephones, first there is a connection which is set up, okay, by all kinds of control signal. Similarly, like say in ATM, first a connection is set up and then actual data transmission begins. Similarly, in TCP, a connection is set up between the two endpoints before any transmission takes place. So it sets up a connection. So one TCP entity is waiting for a connection, that is the server. The other TCP entity, the client, contacts the server. The actual procedure for setting up connection is more complex. So here this is just a very simple scheme. We will see the details of it, more details of it later on. So client first makes a request for a connection, and then so client makes a request, the server acknowledges the request and accepts the request, then data transfer begins. So there is a connection set up before actual data transfer can take place, and at the end of the data transfer there is a disconnect phase also. It is reliable. Well, the byte stream is broken up into chunks which are called segments. So, the TCP, they are called segments at the TCP level. So, receiver sends acknowledgements for segments. So, this is a basic mechanism by which reliability is brought in, that each and every segment is acknowledged. So, TCP maintains a timer. If an ACK is not received in time, the segment is retransmitted. So, this is the basic mechanism for reliability.